Good morning. Myself Kanika Sharma, lecturer, Computer Science and Engineering from Government Polytechnic College, Ludhiana. Today, our topic is what is process management, in which we will discuss what is process, what are the various functions of process management, what are the various states of a process, process control block, context switching, threading, what are schedulers and what are its various types, scheduling and performance criteria. First, we will discuss what is process is a program in execution. Program that is executing is known as process. Process execution must be in sequential manner. It should be in a series fashion. A process includes program counter. Program counter represents the current activity that is done by the process. Stack, it contains temporary data. There is a data section that contains global variables. Some textbooks they use the job term for process and some use the process. They use both, they mean the same. It is means process. So process is a program in execution. What is the difference between a process and a program? How we differentiate a program and a process from operating system point of view? A program does not compete for any resources. Program is simply a set of instructions that we write down. It is a series of instructions for a computer. But when this program, it goes in execution, when it program in execution, then it becomes a process. Program resides on disk. When it is loaded into main memory for execution, then it becomes a process. Program, it is simply resides on disk. When we load it into main memory, it becomes a process, and then it competes for the resources. So a program does not compete for any resources. It is a simple set of instructions. But when program is loaded into memory for execution, it requires some input output resources, CPU for its execution, then it becomes a process. So this is the difference between a process and a program. Next is process management. It is the operating system which assigns different task jobs to the processor to be performed by the computer system. Sometimes at the same time, more than one process comes to the for the processor. They all require the processor for their execution. So suppose we have four processes at the same time, P1 to P4, they all require the processor for their execution. It is the work of the operating system to decide which process is to be allocated the processor first. So next is creating and removing of processes. When a process is program is loaded into memory, it becomes ready for execution. So creation and after their execution, it is also very necessary to destroy the processes in order to save the memory space. So creation and removal of processes, it also the work of operating system. Next, operating system controls the progress of a process. During its lifetime, a process passes through various states. Which process is in which state at what time, it all, how to control their progress, whether there is some interruption during the program execution, all these things are handled by the operating system. All processes, they require input output resources, files, CPU for their execution. So allocating these hardware resources among the processes, it is also the work of your operating system. Next work of operating system is providing synchronization and communication signals among the processes. How to communicate among the various processes so that there should be no mismatch of data. It is also the work of your operating system. Next is processes, they can be decided as either input output bound processes or CPU bound processes. Input output bound processes, they spend more time doing the input output work rather than computations. They need processor for small time, but they spend more time doing during their input output work. And CPU bound processes are that require more processor for most of the time, or they spend more time during doing the computations, and so very less time for the input output processes. During its lifetime, process passes through various states. The various states of a processes are new, running, waiting, ready, and terminating. As in diagram, we can see there is a new process, that is, new means the when the process is being created, that is called a new process. When a process is created, new process is submitted to the ready queue. Ready queue can have more than one processes. All the processes that are ready for execution, they comes to the ready queue. Processes competing for resources come under this ready queue. Next is, from ready queue, the processes that require CPU or processor, they goes to the running state. So it is the CPU who will, suppose we have four processes, CPU will decide which process will get the processor first. To whom the CPU allocates the operating system allocates the processor, that process will go to the running state. And if the process completes without any disturbance, then the last state is terminated. But in between the running state, if a process needs some input output resources, then the process has to be wait for some time. So it means an interrupt has come, so they will wait for some time, and that process will again submit it to the ready queue, where they will again compete for the processor. Again, operating system will schedule them to the processor, they will again come to the running state. And if it completes without any disturbance, then in the last it goes to the terminated state. But in between, if some interrupt comes, or process needs some input output devices, then it is interrupted there, their state is saved, and they are again submitted to the ready queue. So whether the process is completed successfully, it goes from new ready to running and to the terminated state, or whether some interrupt has come in between, all this work has to be done by the operating system to see the status or progress of the states of the process. So these are the different states of a process. Next is process control block. PCB, full form of PCB is process control block. Every process, when it is created in the, then there is some structure is created along with the process. That structure representing the process is called process control block. That structure contains the information about the process. All the information about that particular process is stored in the process control block. Let us see what process control block consists. It consists of process state, the currently in which state the process is in. हमने पढ़ा है कि प्रोसेस पास होती है डिफरेंट स्टेट से, न्यू, रनिंग, रेडी, टर्मिनेटेड, इंटरप्टेड. इन द particular time of period process किस state में है, that information is stored in the process control block. Then is process counter. It shows the current state of the process, current next program, next instruction to be executed, that is stored in the program counter. Then we have CPU registers, CPU scheduling information, how many processes are there waiting for the CPU, and when this process will get the CPU. memory management functions, where in memory this process is going to be stored, accounting information, the time taken by the process, input output state and information, input output or hardware resources required by the process. All this information is stored in the process control block. Whenever a process is created, process control block also gets created along with the process, and it contains whole information about a particular process. And when we destroy the process or remove the process, then process control block also gets destroyed. This saves our memory space. So this is process control block, process state, process number, program counter, registers, memory leaf, which files this process is using. All this information is stored in process control block. Next is context switching. What is context switching? Switching the CPU to another process requires saving the state of outgoing process and loading the saved state for incoming process. When we switch the CPUs, suppose some process is running, P1 is running, but in between some interrupt or some higher priority process comes that needs CPU more urgently, then what we will do? We will save the state of currently running process and allocate the processor to P2. That is more higher priority process. So saving the state, context switching is switching the CPU from one process to another. But what we have to do, we have to save the state of the previous process. PCB of the switched process is moved to ready list or suspended list. Process control block, जिस प्रोसेस को हमने स्विच किया है, जिस प्रोसेस की स्टेट को हमने सेव किया, दैट प्रोसेस अगेन गोज टू रेडी लिस्ट. Process going to replace the earlier one is loaded into ready list. Sometime the information may be lost, but more importantly we save the state of the process. यहाँ से वो प्रोसेस स्टॉप हुई है, वहीं से वो जब P2 अपना काम खत्म कर लेगी, then we will resume the P1 process from the state where it has been finished. So this is called context switching. Context switching means switching the CPU to another process if some another higher priority process comes who needs processor more urgently. When CPU switches to another process, the system must save the state of the old process and load the saved state for the new process. So context switch time, it is an overhead. जब एक प्रोसेस से दूसरी प्रोसेस में CPU switch करता है, that is a wastage of time. The system is not doing any useful work during switching. So it is, context switching is an overhead. This shows P naught is executing, but in between some interrupt comes, we save the state of the P naught into PCV naught. Then P1, there comes another process P1. We will start executing P1. When P1 completes, then again we are resuming the state of the P naught from where we have saved its execution. Next is threading. Threading is time spent in context switching may be reduced by a software known as thread facility. One process, it may have one or more threads. Switching between the threads of a related process, it is more fast as compared to the switching between the threads of different processes. So threads, they can share the CPU, files and memory. So in order to reduce the time spent in context switching, we require a software known as thread facility. Next is scheduler and its types. Scheduler, what is scheduler? Choosing the processes either from hard disk to main memory or from main memory to CPU is known as scheduling, and the part of the software which does this scheduling is known as scheduler. प्रोसेस को चूज करना फ्रॉम द हार्ड डिस्क टू मेमोरी और फ्रॉम मेन मेमोरी टू सीपीयू, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं, शेड्यूलिंग। एंड जो सॉफ्टवेयर ये शेड्यूलिंग करता है दैट इज नोन एज शेड्यूलर। देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ शेड्यूलर, three types of schedulers are there. First one is long term scheduler, or it is also known as job scheduler. Long term scheduler, what it does, it brings the job to be executed from the hard disk to main memory. Long term schedulers, they bring the job from the hard disk to main memory, and they are also called macro schedulers. As we see in the diagram, first number is long term schedulers. They will bring the job from hard disk to main memory. Second type is short term schedulers. Short term schedulers or CPU scheduler, they choose the process to be executed by the CPU from the processes present in ready queue. As we have already discussed, there are different state, new, running, new, ready, running. जब रेडी स्टेट से हमने प्रोसेसेस को चूज करना है टू द रनिंग स्टेट, दैट वर्क इज डन बाय द शॉर्ट टर्म शेड्यूलर, और it is also known as CPU scheduler. As we see in the diagram at number 2, ready queue to CPU, that brings the processes from ready queue and allocate the processor to them. That work is done by the short term scheduler. And next term is this short term scheduler is also known as micro scheduler. Medium term scheduler, it works when a process is removed from the main memory and puts on the swap space. For example, as we see in the diagram, third number scheduler, when we swap some processes, when some interrupt comes and a higher priority process comes, we have to save the state of first process and allocate the processor to the second process. Then swapping is to be done. This swapping is done by the medium term scheduler. This medium term scheduler, it works less number of times than the CPU scheduler and more number of times than the job scheduler. So these are the three types of schedulers. To schedule the process from hard disk to main memory and from main memory to CPU, we required a scheduler, and there are three types of schedulers that does this work. Next is scheduling and performance criteria. How we decide which process is to be scheduled to the processor first. So there are some criteria which we use for this scheduling. First one is CPU utilization. CPU utilization, when the CPU utilization is maximum, we will decide that process to be executed first. What is CPU utilization? Maximum period of time for which the CPU is busy. मैक्सिमम आउटपुट कब आएगी? जब मैक्सिमम आपका प्रोसेसर है जो बिजी रहेगा, उसका आइडियल टाइम लेस होगा. सो विच जो प्रोसेस मैक्सिमम सीपीयू को बिजी कर रही है, देन वी विल select that process from a number of processes. Next is throughput. Throughput is amount of work completed in a unit of time. एक यूनिट ऑफ टाइम में कितनी हमने काम कंप्लीट किया है, दैट इज थ्रूपुट. जिस प्रोसेस की थ्रूपुट ज्यादा होगी, दैट प्रोसेस विल बी decided, or that process will be selected from a number of processes. Turnaround time. Turnaround time, it is the time between the moment the job is submitted and completed by the system. जब आपकी जॉब सबमिट हुई है सिस्टम को और जब उसको कंप्लीट हुआ है, उसके बीच में जो टाइम है, दैट इज टर्न अराउंड टाइम. सो टर्न अराउंड टाइम शुड बी मिनिमम. जिस प्रोसेस का टर्न अराउंड टाइम मिनिमम होगा, दैट प्रोसेस विल बी सिलेक्टेड फॉर एग्जीक्यूशन फर्स्ट. वेटिंग टाइम, it is the time that job spends in waiting for resource allocation when several jobs are competing in multi-programming system. It may be expressed as turnaround time less the execution time of a job. Input output resources, as we have discussed, process requires input output resources and CPU. The time spent by the process for waiting for the hardware resources, this is called the waiting time. वेटिंग टाइम हम कैसे निकाल सकते हैं? टर्न अराउंड टाइम को एक्चुअल एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम से माइनस करके। जिस प्रोसेस का वेटिंग टाइम कम होगा, दैट प्रोसेस विल बी एलोकेटेड द प्रोसेसर फर्स्ट। Response time. Response time is the time from a moment when the last character of a command launching a program until the first result appears on the screen. Response time कितने टाइम में आपकी प्रोसेस आपको रिस्पॉन्स कर रही है? जब आपने उसका फर्स्ट करेक्टर लिखा और उसका फर्स्ट रिजल्ट आने में कितना टाइम है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द रिस्पॉन्स टाइम। जिस प्रोसेस का रिस्पॉन्स टाइम कम होगा, दैट प्रोसेस विल बी बेटर। द ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम विल select that whose response time is less for execution by the processor. Thank you.